I got more Bush than High Times, more rhymes than Leanne. Pull out my Glock, now you're peeing in your pants. It's your last chance. I cut your retinas, get your last glance. Sin, I stick a dildo in. Now I'm hiding from Pavo in the garbage bin. I am the walrus, cuckoo, ka-choo. Bang a Chinese girl till her eye turn blue. Find a new girl and get her numbers on napkins. Fuck her with a loaf of bread and make her cheat on Atkins. It's time for a smoke and a pancake. What can a poke take? Doing shots of KO pec tape. I slice you 3 times, slice you 3 limes, and make you squeeze them on your own cuts. And bitch, you best give thanks before you eat my nuts. Yo, who's that motherfucker throwing pot in the brownies? Bitches once clowned me, now they surround me. I don't give a fuck about love. Fuck a mole, fuck a dumb whore all day. Keep it up and be my baby mama. I'll eat that pussy like Jeffrey Dahmer. Go get up in my tighty whities. Smoke so much, my eyes be Chinese.
You are now listening to Random Ramblings with Rob.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah! Motherfuckers. What's up, everybody? This your boy B-Rob, and I'm back with another edition of the Random Ramblers with Rob podcast. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for coming back each and every week, or however you listen to my podcast. It might be weekly, monthly, semi-annually. Shit, I don't even think I've been around long enough for you to listen semi-annually and shit. So just scratch that from the record. And if you're a new listener, I appreciate you for going ahead and giving my show a try, which now I am on Spotify. And I don't know if this has anything to do with anything, but I've noticed an increase in UK listeners since I found out today that I've been on Spotify. I applied, I think, last week through Podbean, but the UK listenership has gone up since I've been connected with Spotify. If that's a direct correlation, I appreciate it. And hey, over there to people over there in the UK, and where else they had? They had Brazil, they had Kazakhstan, Kenya. It's like I'm naming off a list of exotic waterfalls right now. Shout out to the Pipe Bomb with McCool & Company that's no longer here. It makes me sad every day. But in the same vein, we're gonna bring back a little bit of that nostalgia. We're gonna bring back some of that feel good moments. We're gonna bring back some of that. I've been really trying to hold back, because my guest this week is actually here with me in the intro. It is the Notorious. You just lay down slow, Mr. Joshie Lopez.
Notorious.
No.
What up, everybody?
No.
Notorious.
Hey, man.
You got Diddy dancing and jumping off buildings and platforms and shit in the background.
We ain't even gonna get Diddy. We just gonna get Dave Chappelle playing as Diddy.
Dylan, and Dylan.
Hell yeah.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Man, it's been too long. since me and you shared a microphone.
Well, metaphorically speaking, we're not actually sharing a microphone. You got your own shit over there. I got my own shit over here.
Yeah, I have my stuff here in deep protection because I'm in Chirac, so I'm just trying to make sure I don't get robbed.
See, I'm looking at your shutters behind you right now. It look like some of them metal blinds from the Purge movies or whatever when they go into lockdown and shit. Just
Hey man, the gun violence here in Chicago, I put this out on Twitter earlier. The gun violence here in Chicago is not a gimmick. It's real life.
It's a shoot.
It don't matter what neighborhood you're in, what house you have. Anytime guns go off, you gotta watch out.
Yeah, and if we want to be like wrestling geeks and stuff right now, if we say it's a shoot out there, we mean that like guns and bullets. Yeah.
or the fifth reincarnation of the NWO, but that's neither here nor there.
Exactly. Man, been talking about doing this again for a little while now, especially because I don't have nobody to talk wrestling with no more, so I want to pick your brain of some current events and just get some of your thoughts and opinions, and also talk about you, man. Catch up with you. You've been doing a whole bunch of stuff since the pipe bomb has gone away. You've been you got your own website up now. Of course, you always had your podcast, but you've been putting more of your time into that since you have more time now. And also you're doing your transcriptions, which that's a lot of shit, dog. That's a lot of shit. Are you still doing every show, or you kind of tapered off a little bit?
Let's do this. Let's do like my week schedule, so for everybody knows what I do.
Yeah, take me through the week of Mr. Notorious.
Now, this schedule could vary depending if you have a 2-month pay-per-view for WWE or you have like a spot New Japan like special. So those will vary on like Saturdays. But for Monday, strictly Raw, obviously. Tuesday I do SmackDown Live and 205 Live. I don't take like an hour break or whatever. I just go straight to the next show. Wednesday, when the show was on air, I would do NXT and Lucha Underground on the same night. So we're at 5. Thursdays I do a throwback article for Throwback Thursday, just a nice little feature for the website called Wrestling Rewind. So on Mondays on my Twitter for the website, which you can follow at PW Transcripts, I put out a poll of different options for you guys to vote and choose what show I cover for you guys. And some of the poll options will cater around to what pay-per-views coming up next. Like, for example, I've been putting a lot of Survivor Series options over the last couple of weeks. I'll put like a random New Japan show in there and see if we get some hits for there, since everybody thinks New Japan's competition now. I want to put that to the test.
Oh yeah.
And then just whatever stuff maybe I want to cover, maybe like a old WCW show, or maybe a WrestleMania that I didn't get to cover live when I was there in person. Yeah. That's something I want to do. So I do that on Thursdays. Fridays, I dread that day because I had to make sure as quickly and fastly as possible I get through Impact Wrestling. And then whatever pay-per-view comes your way from the WWE Network, I cover that in as well. So I do just about 6 to 8 articles a week for wrestling shows.
So damn, let's do some math. You gonna have to do the ad and shit. I'm just throwing numbers out there. So Monday, that's 3 hours off top.
Yep.
Tuesday, that's a additional 2 hours, so that's 5. Well, 3 and counting freaking 205 Live.
Yep.
And then so where we at right now? That's 6. Then you got an hour of NXT, so 7. Then what you said you got on Thursday?
Well, NXT and Lucha, that'll be 8. And then Wednesday, no, my bad. Thursday is the pay-per-view day, so that's another 3 hours. Yeah. That's 11. And then Impact is 2, so 13. So on a not pay-per-view week, I do 13 hours.
Fuck, man, that's half a day, dude. Over half a day. And then like, are you typing that stuff as you go, or are you like handwriting it? How you doing that?
what I do, I have a reference sheet that I have for every wrestling company that I cover, and I have movesets for each wrestler. And how I got these moves is I did a little amateur wrestling in high school, so I know a little bit about grappling and stuff, so I know like simple moves. And for those who are longtime wrestling fans, you know what a shoulder tackle is. Yeah. Everybody has a clothesline, everybody has a super kick now, so those stuff are rudimentary, but I had a lot thanks to the research through the internet, not Dave Meltzer, but proper research on the internet. I found movesets for each performer, and it's kind of weird with wrestlers. Like they have like certain names for these type of moves, and a blue thunder bomb could be a spinning sit-out power bomb, and then I think Eddie Edwards has a move like that called Die Hard Flosion, and they mixed it up. Yeah, Die Hard Flosion, and then Kenny Omega has a weird move, the Guitar Crusher, I think. They always have these weird gimmicks attached to the name. So out of respect to the wrestlers, I put that in the article, even if I don't want to go out of the research and spend more time that I don't have looking up this stuff. So I have reference sheets for that, and I use it as the show goes on. I listen to the commentary. If there's a particular move if there's a particular move they say, I'll add that to the article. Like Kevin Kelly and Mauro Ranallo are a big point of references for me, like when I cover NXT or a New Japan show, so they really help me out on that end. And a lot of it has been retention of memory. I one of the lucky genes I got from the man upstairs is that I had a blessed memory, having a good memory. So for doing these type of articles for over 4 years, I have a good cadence of how to do these type of articles and separating the different parts of a match. So let's say you have like a Ishii Naito match that's going 25 minutes. Mm-hmm. I know that I have to separate it in 4 different paragraphs, and I could tell when the next part of the match is. So
it's almost like the segments in the movie, pretty much. You know, you got the first act, the second act, you know, and the third act and stuff like that. So
yeah, like even like with promos. So Shane McMahon be talking for 5 to 6 minutes. I'll cut Sami Zayn. I'll put what he has to say on there, and then we go to the next thing. But I think the cool thing with my articles I do is that I point out how many matches are on the show, and if there's like a promo backstage that people like fast forward to it or didn't get to catch it live, I put it on the article so people can see it.
For sure. Oh, it failed me. I was gonna hit you with a sound effect, but it's loading up. There it is. 10 seconds late. But so what's your word count, man? Like on the typical article, let's just go with Raw because that's the most continuous amount of content on a Monday. Like, what's your word count usually for an article like that?
It varies. If there's like a big talking night, I go right around 4,000 to 5,000. And then if there's like wrestling heavy, like it was last week in Manchester, I did, I think 6,500.
Shit.
Somewhere around there.
Shit. How fast can you type? How many words per minute you clocking?
I think the last time I did the actual test, people are going to call me a nerd when I say this, but but in high school we had technology class, and that's when I first like started doing typing and stuff. And we had to have quiz on how fast you type the shit. So the last test I did was a couple weeks ago, and right now I currently do 57 a minute.
Word. Yeah. Now is that damn you typing and looking at the screen, or is that damn you got to be locked in on what you because like when I type, I can type a decent amount of speed, nowhere near fucking 57 words a minute, but damn I have to look at the fucking keyboard. I haven't put enough into it to where I can, because like my wife type and she like this and shit. She talking to me, holding a conversation, looking at the TV, yelling at the kids and shit while she typing, and I was like, how?
There's no breaks. Like, yes, I'll watch what's happening, and I think the cool thing with wrestling, like they do have rest holds and stuff, and like they like space out their matches. But for me, when I'm covering the show, and this is no bad feelings towards anybody. Like, I'll go to my Uncle Jeremy's house to watch the pay-per-views or whatever, right? But when I'm covering the shows live, I have tunnel vision, so I'm like tuning everything out. I'm tuning out people who are watching this show with me. Unless there's like a commercial break or like the wrestlers are making their entrance, that's when I'll talk about how I feel about the show as it's happening. But when it comes to the bell and make sure my stuff looks professional and is good enough to read for people, I'm just full tunnel vision mode.
Word.
It's not easy. I tried my best. I tried my best. Sometimes I'll make mistakes here and there, but there's a lot of time after the articles that I spent on editing and just make sure it makes sense. And the hard part for me, Rob, is like when I'm transcribing dialogue, it's not my fault if a promo doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because they don't want to say it. You just you're just stenographer, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they talk like that, damn, I was talking about it on the last episode that was out. Shot cock. Penis. That damn the Velveteen Dream when you had that first initial promo with fucking Aleister Black. I mean, how would you type something like that? He's like, you got to have the lightness with the dark and the darkness with the light, and the light and the darkness has to coincide. He was just like ranting back and forth, and I can imagine just hearing him saying that shit and trying to damn.
The first wrestler that I was able to do that type of stuff with was with Bray Wyatt. Like, I was able to pick what he was actually saying in those backstage promos, because that's the guy that's like out there with all the riddles and metaphors he spews out there. Like Bray Wyatt, that's one of my favorite parts of the show is transcribing those type of promos, because I'm like an Undertaker type of fan in those like not medieval characters, but like the darker characters for wrestling I really appeal to. And so Bray Wyatt was fun, but like, yeah, Velveteen Dream, or even like little like backstage run-in like type of interviews, like with Charlie Caruso. By the way, good butter pecan waterfall right there.
So you change it up? You want to change it up? Yeah. Well, I thought we were saving the butter pecan for Bianca Belair.
No, that's regular pecan butterfall. Okay. No, regular pecan waterfall. Butter pecan waterfall is Charlie Caruso.
I don't know. That's probably got some butter on that too. Anyway,
let me get some butter on that roll. So, like, yeah, it's not easy, but I make the best out of it, and I have supporters who support my website. I put out a little donation thing. I'm not gonna like jam ads and sponsor stuff or t-shirts down people's throat. If they want to support what they want to support, I have a little fee for those that want to support my website, and I attach it to every article I do. Yeah. And I make the best out of it, but it's not easy, and I'm trying to do something different. So if people like what I'm doing and it's a strict place for them to find out what's happening in the shows, then I'm doing my job right.
Yeah, because I mean, it's the same thing with this podcast. I mean, I do it because I enjoy it. And I say it just about every episode now. It's just like, you don't have to do that shit, but it's just there because, you know, somebody might be considering it or whatever. So it's just there just because, you know, podcasters copy everybody. It's like, well, they got a Patreon. Well, fuck it, I guess I'll make one. Or they got t-shirts. Well, fuck it, I'll just have t-shirts too, you know.
Yeah, but a lot, not only that people copy each other like segments for podcasts, but in the wrestling world, when you're like typing articles, there's a lot of copying and pasting there. I've been doing this 4 years, and I put it on my mom's grave, even though she's not even dead. I put it on every family member I know that's passed away in their grave. I've never copied anything from any wrestling website when it came to my articles. If anything I ever copied and pasted, it was just those embedded videos they put on WWE's Twitter account. That's it.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but it's a lot of fun, and you've been one of the biggest supporters of the website. Actually, you recommended me to start my own website, so
yes.
I thank you for that. And I add my podcast on there, so people can go check that out as well.
Now, who you going through? You going through Squarespace, or who you got your website thing through?
WordPress.
Yeah, because now I was looking at that today because I'm thinking about changing my you know, my hosting for my website and everything. Because I know with Squarespace, I think about fucking stocks and shit. With Squarespace, I had a guy that used to do a podcast. He would host his podcast from his website because Squarespace allowed him to do that. So he didn't have to go through like Podomatic or Podbean or anything like that, paying extra money. He just paid everything into the website. So I was looking at that to do that. And then another thing that I was looking at WordPress as well, because the provider that I go through for my podcast is Podbean. And with Podbean, they have different options to where after you upload your podcast, you can share it to all these different places. So now they have Spotify up there, and they have YouTube and Twitter, Facebook, and everything. Stitcher. Like that. And then they also have the option for WordPress. So I don't know really what that does, but that's what it got me thinking about, you know, maybe switching my thing so I can have all those little boxes checked. I don't want to leave nothing unchecked. I want to get my shit everywhere.
Right. When I added the podcast on the website, basically I just take the videos from YouTube, and I have a full playlist for my podcast on YouTube because unfortunately for me, I run my podcast through iTunes from the Podomatic account, and I don't have the money to pay for pro accounts and all the extra BS. Yeah. So I'm not able to post every single episode that I do for my podcast on iTunes. So I save it up on my YouTube account, and I just drop it on the website. Whatever's new on there, I just push it there so everybody can see it.
Me and you gonna have to talk offline about that. But yeah, as far as the articles go, I know you're covering more so of WWE because there's more WWE content. But what's the difference whenever you're doing articles for WWE programming versus that of Lucha Underground or Impact or GFW, whatever the fuck that is, and New Japan? Is there, you know, more of something that you're doing for a specific brand, or, you know, you kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So for example, like Impact, that's my easiest article to do because they don't have a lot of wrestling matches on there, and half of their shows littered with video packages. So I just take the clips from their show on their YouTube channel, I put on the website. When it comes to like Lucha Underground, it's kind of different because they have a lot of subtitles that they have for their backstage promos and certain characters. So I have to pause my TV and make sure I write it out. And I appreciate the fact that they put the subtitles on the screen while the show's going on. I appreciate that stuff. But Lucha Underground doesn't do a lot of promos, so a lot of what I do for that show is just knowing what they do with the moveset. And sometimes they'll do like trios matches, which can be challenging because there's a lot going on around the ring. And I try my best. When there's like a multi-man match, like in New Japan, I try my best to make sure I get every little detail that's going on. Yeah, there's action in the ring, but there's also shit going on the outside as well. So, so I say the biggest difference between like a New Japan or WWE is that, I'm adding more promos, but when it comes to New Japan, there's just a lot of matches. And honestly, for me, I feel like, you know, as much as I enjoy the like Power Struggle or King of Pro Wrestling shows or whatever, I don't think every New Japan major show has to be 5 hours. Yeah.
I've seen that too. Cause like, I believe it's that way because I mean, I could be wrong, but I believe it's like that because it's, they don't have a week to week television and everything like that. So, I mean, whenever they put on the show, they put on the motherfucking show.
I don't mind 4-hour pay-per-views for New Japan. I understand that this is their way to sell their product for the next month. But for me, like, it's a 5-hour airing for the pay-per-view, but it's almost 6 hours if you count me editing the article and stopping and this and that. So
shit, it's probably more than that because I mean, sometimes they take those long, awkward pauses in between matches, and then they like if you listening to the English commentary Fucking they damn sometimes switch over to the Japanese commentary mid pay-per-view, and that take a little bit of time, and it's just weird. Now damn, because I know they got some of the events on there that don't have the English commentary, so what do you do for that?
Well, that happened to me a lot during the G1. I covered the G1 for the first time this year, and like I think about a third of their shows were with Japanese commentary. Now, some of the Japanese commentaries will like call out a suplex or a clothesline like that, and I appreciate that. But I got so much repetition to cover these New Japan shows, like I know what the finishers are now. So it's just following along with the regular, hammer lock, transition to the wrist lock, all the nonsense, and then a lot of it now is just like a lot of springboard moves. The high-flying wrestling now. Like if you have, let's say, Hiromu Takahashi against Will Ospreay, there's definitely an opportunity for me to put like 20 different springboard like sentences together in that match, because that's all they're doing during the match. Like they'll do like a feeling out process or whatever with the arm bars and stuff, but it's not like a Zack Sabre Jr. Minoru Suzuki match where it's just grappling the entire match.
Yeah. Matter of fact, that was that a Will Ospreay Kushida match. You watched that yet? What you think about that one?
I thought it was fun. I thought the one he had the other day with Marty Scurll was very good from the Power Struggle show. Yeah. Now they're leading this big feud at Wrestle Kingdom. Now it's Ospreay, Scurll, Takahashi, and Kushida for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title at Wrestle Kingdom.
I don't know. That card is damn starting to shape up pretty good. We got Naito versus Okada.
Yep.
We got the 4-way you just mentioned. What else we got? Besides the one big thing that everybody is going to be going gaga over, including myself.
You got Cody Rhodes against Kota Ibushi.
Yeah. How you think that's going to go?
I'm kind of bummed out about that match, to be honest with you. I like Ibushi. I'm not in love with Ibushi like a lot of New Japan fans are. I wanted to see Cody Rhodes against Tomohiro Ishii. I just thought it'd be a more interesting challenge for Cody to pull on that type of match. And like I just didn't see Kota doing it. But that's the thing. I guess that was their like consolation prize for him, because he wasn't going to fight Kenny Omega after all at Wrestle Kingdom. So that's the one. And then the other match I heard that was announced was the Young Bucks against the new Roppongi Vice team.
Yeah, Roppongi 3K.
Yeah.
Show and Yo.
Roppongi 3K.
Roppongi Vice. But the big match, I think that's going to steal the goddamn show. I mean, not even as a, bona fide top tier match. It's just the spectacle of it is the Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho. Now, when you seen that, because did you watch it live or did you watch the replay?
I watched the promo live because they're streaming it on Twitter. I woke up early that Sunday morning, but I didn't do the whole article till later on that day.
Now, what was your reaction when you saw that?
First, my jaw dropped, and then I just started laughing because of how loud like Kevin Kelly and Don Callis were in the background. What? Yeah. What?
He said, "That's
is that possible?
Is it possible?"
So don't get me wrong. I was pumped. I was pumped just like everybody else was when they saw the whole thing, and they played Judas in the background. That's one of my favorite songs. I started learning how to play it on the guitar a couple months ago. I love that song, and just the whole promo. And then you hear the Japan fans chanting Y2J, Y2J in the background. It was cool. It was really cool with the announcement and everything. I'll admit my excitement for the match has kind of wavered with just the reaction towards it this past week through social media. Like, don't get me wrong. Obviously, this match is going to be a lot of fun, and I am a Chris Jericho fan. It's just going to be the greatest wrestling match of all time. I don't know. And it's not for me to say, and I talked about this on my podcast this week. it's better for us to enjoy this moment for what it is, because you don't know whether or not Chris Jericho is going to have another match in a different company. And the fact that he wanted to consider this guy to have his first match outside of the WWE since 1999 is special. So let's not ruin it with this fake narrative that we're going to have the second coming of the wrestling wars that's going to be happening, because it's not going to happen. It's good for the wrestling business that this match is happening, but let's not take the fun out of what's happening on January 4th. I guess that's what I'm getting with that.
Hell yes. It's like, I was shocked that, he was there, in the promo package, making the challenge and everything. But what, just like you said, man, I was just like, holy shit. He is in New Japan. What the fuck is going on? And it's just like everybody's talking about it. And I really want this to be, not so much, the match will be what it is, but I want them to like pump the shit out of this, like milk it for all it's worth, because this is going to do so much for professional wrestling as a whole. Because damn, you're going to have other people who's on Jericho. That shit is going, I think other people is going to follow suit. Well, I would like for other people to follow suit. You got a lot of veteran talent that's just floating around that's not on anybody's contract, and they can pretty much do whatever the fuck they want. And I would like that a lot. Just people just start popping up in other people promotions, for one-offs, or maybe like a small program or anything like that. That's what I'm doing air quotes because I don't know shit about shit. That's what the wrestling business should be, talent exchanging talent, a talent exchanging talent. They only do that in wrestling holes because they wrestling each other. But companies exchanging talent, for I believe there's profit in that. What do you think?
I agree. It's just you have to go with the right companies to do it. Like Sami Callihan showed up at Bound for Glory over the weekend, and nobody gave a shit. Yeah. So, like, you have a guy like that out there. You have Matt Riddle. You have so many other guys who spew off these Evolve shows or Ring of Honor, or even Progress too. So, like, you have to pick the right places to go, and maybe it's just me. Like, the Ring of Honor buzz has been kind of fading over the last couple of months. Like, yeah, the Global War show in Chicago is cool and all, but like, I'm not on pins and needles to cover Final Battle later this year. Like, I don't watch the weekly show. I don't. So you have to pick the right spots. And I think, like, when you have shows like Lucha Underground or New Japan, I think those are the right places to have those one-off appearances.
Yeah. Now that
but like Jushin Thunder Liger, everybody's like, oh, he had a great match with Tyler Breeze at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. I didn't think so.
He's all right.
I thought it was a simple match. I like Liger. Don't get me wrong, I like Liger, but
Liger ain't doing, Liger in his prime shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Liger has a shtick. But I'm just like, will he do this anywhere else, or is it just New Japan? Because it's been brought up on other podcasts and everything, but I think it's an interesting point. Why wouldn't you do that if you're not under contract with anybody? Why wouldn't you go get, as a performer, as an entertainer, to get the most exposure as possible? Why wouldn't you spread yourself out throughout the other companies and shit like that?
I just don't see him like going and doing like 5 more New Japan shows this year. I don't. I think this is gonna be a one-off for him and Omega because that's what he wants to do. Yeah, it's kind of like a full circle moment for him. And I think it's gonna be. I don't know what the tour dates for Fozzy is, but I wouldn't be surprised if he has another like North American leg of a tour after that Wrestle Kingdom show. So you have to see what happens there. And then he's already getting his mind changing to television shows, and he's focusing on the cruise that's happening later on next year. So I think this will be a one-off.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that because I never thought in a million years that the shit would happen. Yeah, because that's, man, just thinking about it. Just like I can remember seeing the whole waking up that morning like everybody else.
Yeah.
And I think I seen first. I didn't see anything about the promo. I didn't see no video stuff. I just seen the little poster somebody made where it had them two facing off against each other, and I was like, oh, this is some fan art. I mean, who's doing this? Because I heard about the little exchange they was having back and forth on Twitter and everything. So I was like, all right, somebody made fan art to this. Then I go on Instagram and I see people posting about it. I was like, okay, what's happening? What's going on? So then I started investigating and everything. And I pulled up New Japan World and I seen, a little snippet of the latest pay-per-view. And I was like, okay, I mean, there's nothing on New Japan World because they didn't have it like advertised on there. They weren't promoting it. It was just, the new pay-per-view. I was like, something must have happened here. So I finally went back and watched it. By then, somebody posted the little clip online. I was like, holy fuck.
That's funny. I think another cool part about how big that announcement was is like usually now these days, like you wake up and you find out that there's another mass shooting going on or some type of bullshit. Like I thought what's cool about what happened this past week in wrestling is that I woke up on Sunday, I found out about this announcement. Monday, everybody's getting excited for what's going to happen at Raw, and I thought both Raw and SmackDown were good this week. And then Wednesday, I'm getting ready to take my show, and then I get a notification when I wake up saying, oh, John Cena is now the 5th member on Team SmackDown. So I'm like, it's like the cool thing that wrestling is getting like pop-up notifications that like, oh, you have to get ready in the morning because you don't know what's going to happen on a Wednesday or Thursday because it's always some shit that's coming out. And then of course you get the stupid stuff like TNA trying to not charge fans, actually pay fans to go watch their tapings.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand that business model there. I mean, I would rather just give them more people free tickets rather than pay somebody to come sit at your show.
Yeah, make signs that you don't want to make.
Yeah, that's just I don't wow. Who is funding these people?
old Yeller Corporation.
I don't know. They must have like blackmail information on somebody. He was like, yeah, there's some scandal shit going on right now.
Yeah, it's brutal.
I mean, at this point, I'm saying that I don't want anybody to lose their job, but I want TNA to go away. I really do. That whole, they tried to rebrand, and there was a whole fuck up with that, and they tried to do this, they tried to do that, and it's just like, I don't know. But that's just me speaking. But there's billions of people on this earth, and there's probably a whole bunch of motherfuckers out of that billions to damn still like Impact enough for them to hang on as long as they've been hanging on.
Yeah, and that's why I talk about like ratings not having as much importance as it did in the back in the day, because you got to show like Impact that just takes airtime and it's just there. It's filler. It's dry. There's nothing to it, and like. I made my points clear. I'm not a Josh Matthews fan, so he's not going to get me pumped for 2 hours of wrestling. I like JB, and it's just like it's the same thing over and over and over again. It's like, how long can we stick around to put on a crappy Bound for Glory pay-per-view every year?
Yeah, and when you think they started taking the dive, I got my opinion on when that started happening, but I want to hear what you got on it.
I think it started when you had the Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff Immortal faction. And
exactly.
They're the center point of the show. And not only that, but also when the news came out that Vince Russo accidentally sent a creative email to Mike Johnson from PW Insider. It was supposed to be production notes for Taz and Mike Tenay. And then it's like
yeah. Soon as they announced Hulk Hogan was going over to TNA, that was it for me. That's when the decline, when the plane just started going down and the ground just started getting bigger and bigger, in my opinion. Because, like, Hogan is great, but he's not great to run a company or build a company around. I mean, WWE, I mean, he made it back in the 80s when he was prevalent and he was popular and all kind of stuff like that. He's still popular, but when he goes to WWE, he just shows up, comes out, brother, what you gonna do, flex, and you go the fuck home. That's all you need Hulk Hogan for. But you don't need this motherfucker over here booking stuff, getting involved in angles and all this other crazy crap. He is far beyond that point in his career now. He should just pop up, wave a hand, put his hand to his ear, flex, rip a shirt maybe, and then go home. That's all he need to do.
I really thought that segment with him, Austin, and Rock at WrestleMania 30 could have been like the perfect send-off for him. Because that's what he was brought back for that year. He was going to be the host of WrestleMania, and then he just ended up being like the face for the whole Susan G. Komen thing, and then that's when like all the Gawker stuff started to come out.
Yeah. Penis!
But like the last one on Impact before we move on, like when I watch Impact and you're saying, oh, it's time for it to go away, it's like we talk about Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho being good for the wrestling business, but every time Impact Wrestling's on television, I think it puts a bad light on the wrestling business.
Well, you just because of business practices?
No, it's just in general. There's nothing to this show that brings any type of emotion to it. Like, you could be at Universal Studios at these shows and you get in there for free. But are you really, like, marking out for what's going on? Are you really, like, telling your friends, oh, you got to check out Impact? And I was there for 4 tapings and it's, like, must-see TV. There's no soul to Impact Wrestling. Nothing. Like, Impact is making WCW Thunder look like top-tier wrestling programming.
And you are right about that. I haven't heard anybody other than people, speaking on the negatives and everything. I haven't heard anybody in a really long time say, hey, man, did you see that match on Impact? Or, hey, man, did you see this and this and this? This happened this week. I haven't heard that in a very, very long time.
And don't get me wrong, like there's good matches from this week that I had, even though there was only 3. Like Eddie Edwards against King Cuerno. I thought that was a good match.
Oh, that was on Impact?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
and then you had like Matt Sydal against Sanjay Dutt. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was cool, but still nobody gives a crap.
Yeah. They announced that Lucha Underground getting picked up for season 4. And then all those guys that went over there to Impact, they're going right back to motherfucking Lucha Underground.
I got the press release for that this morning, actually.
Yeah, I just seen like a little clip of it. I know Johnny Mundo is coming back. Was a Son of Havoc. I think that's all they announced so far. Or did you hear more names?
I want to see who comes back because Triple A. Triple A has a lot of issues with Conan's group, The Crash Lucha Libre. So Conan books like Pentagon and Phoenix and a lot of those guys and Drago. And I don't know what their deal with is with AAA, but if they're not with AAA, then they're not going to be on Lucha Underground because that's basically what it is. You have AAA guys, and then you have some independent guys signed to different contracts to play different gimmicks. Like, one of my favorite guys on Lucha Underground is the Mac.
Yeah,
that guy just cracks me up.
Did you see his small stint down at NXT?
No, I did not.
I don't even think it was like more than one match. I know he had at least one match down that way.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back.
What's her name? Santos?
Yeah, Melissa Santos.
Yeah, she pregnant by Brian Cage.
Lucky bastard, man.
He's a man.
That's top shelf waterfall. Actually, I'm wrong about that. Katrina is top shelf waterfall.
It's like
the
I always
good old
liked her
days.
when she was Maxine.
Yeah. I even liked her back then too. Like everybody's like, "Oh my God, AJ Lee's the hottest one out of them." And don't get wrong, she is hot, but like Maxine was like the one that stood out the most to me out of that NXT class.
Yeah, and her ring attire was pretty much lingerie.
Right?
Yeah. But man, I'm just. What else we got going on in wrestling? Let's just talk about a little bit about New Japan. I've been playing catch up because I missed out on a lot of stuff. I've just been missing out on wrestling in general. I think I missed the last 2 or so weeks of Raw and SmackDown or whatever. But I've been getting the Cliffs Notes, the highlights and everything. So I'm aware of what's going on and what's happening. But I haven't been actively watching all the shows and everything. But catching up on New Japan. New Japan is always fun. You know, it's just like now I'm starting to get used to their brand of wrestling. I know when daggone what's it is Yano and what's the dude Makabe and all them guys come out. I'm like, all right, they're just gonna be running into each other for the next 10 minutes, and Yano gonna be trying to take the goddamn turnbuckle pad off and somebody hair and all that shit. So I watch the end of those matches. I don't even watch those matches all the way through. I just kind of fast forward through it. And what I've noticed about the guys that been there longer, the older guys, they wrestle a particular style. Then you get the younger guys in there, they all over the goddamn place. They jumping off the top, they going through the barricade, they doing all kind of crazy shit. Because when I first started watching New Japan was around Wrestle Kingdom 9. And I didn't like Tanahashi. I didn't like him at all. I thought I was like, what is this dude? He got this long hair and he's doing air guitar.
Focus.
Yeah, I was like, what is this dude doing? And then more recently, when I seen him go up against Naito, I think last year or sometime earlier this year, changed my whole opinion of this dude because I think he went away from the title picture and he went down to the Intercontinental Championship level and he started having a good series of matches there that I was able to watch. And damn, but the one with him and Naito when he had him caught up in the ropes and he was just dragging, screwing the leg out of his fucking hip sockets, I was like, damn, that shit was crazy. And then now just getting to see Will Ospreay and Ricochet and it's fucking crazy. I think my MVP right now is Kushida. I like him a lot. He got that damn crazy ass right hand, just pow, motherfucker fall out.
What about ACH?
Who?
ACH.
Cedric Alexander? I don't know. He's a good performer, but I've seen spurts of that guy. I seen him once live, which was a crazy thing because he was just like hanging from the ceiling and flying through the crowd and all kind of crazy shit. And then I seen a couple matches.
I interviewed ACH on my old radio show before. He did a lot more Chicago independent shows, and then another guy that doesn't make enough New Japan appearances, Michael Elgin. I got to interview him before.
Yeah, in fact, I think he's on the latest edition of the Edge and Christian podcast.
Those guys are shot.
Oh man, I like their show, man.
It's funny.
It's funny as fuck, man.
Bird. Tommy. And then they talk about all the stuff they would do to each other.
Yeah. You know, a lot of it involves him smacking him on the ass. They had the interview with when they had Gold Dust on there, and he was like, "I'm gonna spray paint your ass gold, and then I'm gonna smack it." Tommy.
I have a couple things for New Japan that stand out to me. Like, you're bringing up Makabe and all these other guys. Like, whenever's like a 10-minute tag team match, you know Ishii's gonna be in there. Somebody's got to be stupid. You know, yeah, you'll do your little collar and elbow tie up, and it's always weird. Like with New Japan matches, for some reason they're just pissed off after they do the grappling exchange. Like you'll have an armbar and hammerlock, and then the guys just walk up to each other like,
just start punching each other in the goddamn face.
It doesn't even take 5 minutes for a freaking forearm contest. Go on.
Yeah, especially with him and Makabe. They always do that shit every single time.
Corrida. What's the other ones? Like, there's a lot of cursing on there as well, especially when you have like the Gorillas of Destiny on there.
They cuss as they hit the curtain. It's like, fuck this shit. Goddamn Takamichi got motherfucker in his goddamn entrance music.
And you know, Yujiro from Bullet Club's like, yeah, man, this is my time of the month, man. I got 2 girls on my side. Yeah. Like, the rest of his month sucks. But he always comes out with the 2 chicks.
Yeah. He always had the same one come out all the time. He might switch up the secondary, but he always had that one that come out with him all the time. And it's just crazy seeing that stuff now, because I'm not used to seeing that stuff like nowadays, because you know, it was way back in the Attitude Era when you see ass cheeks on TV in a wrestling ring.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to New Japan Pro Wrestling on New Japan World. Kevin Kelly here with Don Callis.
I like those two. They do it for me. They're a good little team. Mm-hmm. What was that other guy?
I was wondering if anybody like would have a wrestling show. The commentator just does like Trump impressions the entire time. Believe me, we got the number 1 wrestling, the number 1 referees, the number 1 production.
Yes. So I'm gonna put up ring posts, and they're gonna be the biggest ring posts you've ever seen, and nobody will be able to get over them.
Fake news.
Yes. Damn. What I was explaining to somebody about New Japan, I had a guy that I used to serve with. He was my wrestling buddy. Anytime wrestling came close to town, it came in. Me and him would pal up, and we go drive to wherever it is, and we go watch shows. He called me when the news about Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega broke. And he was asking me, what's going on? What's this and that and everything? And I sat down, and you know, I know enough about New Japan to, you know, tell him about it. So I was telling him about it. But what I was explaining to him, that what I really liked about New Japan is the Young Lions program, like the Young Boys or whatever they call them. And I was just telling him about that. I was trying to kind of sell him on that more than you know, the actual shit, because I really dig what they do. They make them earn it, man. They don't let them wear any kind of, you know, anything that distinguishes them from anyone else. They always wear black tights and black boots, nothing else.
Yeah, and they know they're gonna get their ass whipped by Suzuki after the match
every time. Every time. But like this current crop of Young Lions is out. I like Kawato. That's my man. That's my dude, bruh.
Yeah, he's another one of those that's like, yeah, let's do some forearms. Yeah. And then they have the Young Lions that I like. I like David Finlay. I think he's really good. I like Juice Robinson. He's really broken out this year. He was a Young Lion as well. For those keeping score at home. Yeah, so I like a couple of those guys. And then
what's that big motherfucker name with the damn the teeth?
Kitamura?
Yeah, that dude chops is fucking ridiculous, man. I hate to see anybody get in the ring with that dude, because he'll hold his wrist like this and he'll just bow, and you see the fucking sweat and everything just fly off their chest and their face and their head, and he hit them in the chest. I'm like, God damn.
I like when Tenzan and Kojima come in, and you just know like half of the masters is just Mongolian chops the entire time.
But those two out of this current crop of Young Lions, Kawato and the big guy, whatever. I think they're gonna be something major later on, man. And then I just dig their whole training system, man. They'll come in there and they'll get with one of the factions or whatever. They'll train them up, and whenever they deem them ready, they don't put them there in New Japan. They send them away to hone their gimmick or whatever. They'll send them to like Mexico, or they'll do something with Ring of Honor. They'll just go around the map and hone their style and their gimmick, and then they'll come back to New Japan as their their character that they made for themselves or whatever. So I'm very interested to see how whenever they send out Kawato and the big guy, whatever, I keep forgetting his name, what they're gonna come back as, because we just had 3 people come back. We had the dude Jay White, Switchblade. He just recently showed up and he's challenging for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship at Wrestle Kingdom. And then we have Roppongi 3K that just came back, and now they're the light heavyweight champions. So I didn't know anything about the Roppongi guys showing or this Jay White dude or whatever. I missed that whole span of that Young Lions class, but now that I'm kind of up to date and current with these current guys, I'm ready for them to go out because I want to kind of follow them and see them when they come back. You like pie?
I love pie.
Poontang pie?
Yes.
So, man,
there's great poontang pie in the west side of Chicago.
Do you have to drive an armored car to get there?
No comment.
She was raised in Illinois, right outside of Chicago.
Some of the best cooking ever was. And I miss it. Hey, woman, are you feeling me? Whoa.
Well, shit, man. What else we got going on in the world of Joshie Lopez? I mean, we got your website is pumping on with the transcripts and everything. You got the podcast still flowing. Is there anything new on the horizon for you?
I've been sending out applications and stuff and keeping my eyes open for what's open for open radio positions here in Chicago. Also, like digital stuff as well. I've been in the gym for the last... I started in July. Yeah, I've been in the gym for the last 4 months, so I don't know if you see any difference since the last time you saw me, but I've been
dude, I only see you from the shoulders up all the time, so I don't know nothing.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been in the gym since July, so I go there 3 times a week, and I've been focusing on that. And I'm just it's a struggle with the broadcasting and media business, just trying to get jobs and stuff, and like I'm not driven by money, but I know that I'm better than most of the people that are doing the stuff at these radio stations, and I know I can be an asset to it. But the big problem with that is my age, I guess. but it's a very competitive market, and I apply myself. I'm not lazy. I guess that's one of the main reasons why I continue to do the website and the podcasting and stuff. There's not a week where I just like, I don't feel like broadcasting. I don't feel like writing. I'm just gonna lay on my couch all the time. I'm not that type of person. So I'm trying to better myself, and I think doing the articles has helped me better on air, helped me become a better broadcaster, actually. And I'm just trying to apply myself more, Robin. People say, all you do is do your work from the computer. That's not real work. Well, anybody that's not hired by a local radio station and does this stuff for a living, most of their work is through the computer. So,
yeah, that guy's an idiot, or gal, whoever said
that. And to say that I'm lazy or whatever, that's just ridiculous. I know the amount of time I put into this stuff. Yeah. Do I make a gazillion dollars like I wish I would? No, I don't. But my point is I'm going to keep doing this and I keep applying myself and keep applying to these different jobs. But once somebody gives me an opportunity, I'm not looking back because I've earned that opportunity. You know, it's just a different structure now. You can't call into these radio stations and be like, oh, hey, can I come in for an appointment for an interview? Like they tell you when you apply online, don't call us. If we're interested, we'll call you. So it's a struggle that I deal with behind the scenes when I'm not doing this stuff. But besides that, like, there's nothing really special like going on. Like I've watched a lot of basketball now, and I've watched some sports here and there. I don't watch any LeBron James games. That's for sure. But you know, some of the resurgence for the Bears and how competitive they've been this year has been a lot of fun for me to watch. On Sundays, that's kind of like my day off when there's like not a pay-per-view on, so that's my day to relax, and that's kept my spirits up. But besides that, man, I'm trying my best to make this website grow and expand, and I've added a lot of different production elements to my podcast and make that stand out. So it's a weekly challenge, but I'm having fun. Would I wish I'd be hired by a big corporation or ever? Sure, but if I get that opportunity, it's because I earned it.
Yeah, and I agree, man. If I like it because you could easily just sit there and complain about what everybody else is doing and not do nothing at all, but you're actively engaging and you're doing something and you're making your portfolio like fat, you know, with everything that you're doing. And yes, you do a lot of shit because you do. But damn, I can remember many a times whenever we was recording weekly or whatever, I was like, dog, you need to take a break. You just take a nap or something. But nah, man, you keep plugging away, and I commend you for that. I give you a round of applause. If I got the right button, I'm gonna press it. Let's see.
Nice.
Yeah, man. So we need.
I also started playing the guitar again, actually. So that's been fun. I've been jamming to Joe's I Want to Know. So I've been learning a lot of those R&B songs for the ladies.
Hey, man. I'm about to put you on the spot. Where the guitar at? Hook me up. Give me a little tune, dude. Give me your Elias Sampson impression.
I don't have it here, unfortunately. But if I did, I would like you to put your cell phones down and hold your applause until I'm done.
I like that dude, man. That dude's funny.
That guy cracks me up.
He I don't know. It just seems from when I seen him in NXT up until now, he looked like he done changed a lot body wise too. I guess
the funny thing with Elias though is like, you know, I've talked about in the past of like, oh, just because certain NXT performers click down there doesn't mean it's going to click up to the next level. Everybody was trashing Elias Sampson in NXT, but everybody loves them up in the next level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I see Elias Sampson on my TV, I get genuinely excited. That guy cracks me up.
Yeah, and then I think he's another one of those guys, man, that like I think they seen something in him, you know, early on, and that's why he is where he is now, because like he didn't stay at NXT that long, or he wasn't even really featured that much on NXT, and he was already up on the main roster. Like Braun, he fucking completely bypassed that shit and just went straight on. I mean, minus the Rosebud shit, but you know, and he feels like one of those guys to me. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on at the top right now with Cena, Nakamura, goddamn Mahal, and all those other guys, to where, you know, he doesn't have a prominent spot right now, but I believe he might be able to have one later on. I see Intercontinental title on him later down the line. Mm-hmm. That's a nice elbow drop too.
I think WWE is on a roll with the trolling heels. Like, I love him. I love who's the other guy? Drew Gulak from 205 Live and his PowerPoint presentations.
He said, I had 256 slides, and they're just going to cancel it. You know how long it take to do 256 slides?
And then he has a slide of somebody that looks like Okada.
I didn't see that. I need to go back and watch.
No jumping off the top rope. Oh, man.
The flashback to New Japan. What you think about Okada, man?
I'm 50-50 on him. Like, I enjoy his matches. He kind of reminds me a lot of a mixture of Bobby Roode and Randy Orton, where like a lot of it's just headlocks and shoulder tackles, and a lot of it's like, okay, you're gonna go for a flying like crossfire, right, or like a flying smash, but like their big aerial move is just a drop kick in midair. Or you'll do like that running leap over the barricade on the outside. You'll do that a couple times off the chair. But like, I could see any Bobby Roode or Randy Orton match, just like I see that in any Okada match.
Yeah,
I'll give him credit, man. That crowd like fires up anytime before he finishes a match, and I think that's the magic of Okada. Mm-hmm. That he does a lot of stuff simple, but he always finds a way to make the crowd so fired up towards the end of his match.
Yeah, and I thought for sure it was going to be him and Omega at this Wrestle Kingdom, and Omega is going to win that title before he leaves New Japan, if he ever leaves New Japan.
Yeah, until he wins that title, I'm not putting him on any level of AJ or Nakamura. I'm sorry. He could put on any 6-star classic according to Nimrod's out there, but unless he's the champion of that company, no shot.
Yeah, and I don't think he'll leave until he does that. I really don't.
Do you think that he's going to... You think they'll do that rematch again for the Long Beach show? Because they didn't do it the last time?
What, between...
Omega and Okada? They didn't have a rematch at the Long Beach shows.
I don't know. I mean, with this whole Jericho thing, man, it was brought up before. And, I kind of like the idea that, like, he could beat Omega at Wrestle Kingdom. And then he'll get it back at the US shows or whatever. But just like how you were saying earlier, I mean, he got a lot of shit going on. He doing TV shows, fucking touring. He got the cruise shit coming up. So I don't know. The book, yeah, another book he touring out as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who knows, man? And that's why it's so fucking exciting, because we don't know. It's not in a daggone written report somewhere. It's not in a fucking angry motherfucker's YouTube video. It's just it's up in the air right now, and we don't know what's going to happen, and that's fucking amazing.
Speaking of angry guys, there's a guy out there named Bruce Blitz who does like angry wrestling rants. Bruce Blitz? Yeah, Bruce Blitz. Like, type in Bruce Blitz John Cena, you'll see a guy from Chicago just absolutely losing his shit about John Cena. He calls him the shit factor of professional wrestling.
Let's see what we got. We got
Bruce Blitz.
Oh, this dude looked like a geek. Got his shirt off, showing his muscles and shit. I believe he wanted to be a wrestler at one point. He just probably got shit on. Oh, he was a wrestler?
Yeah.
Should have known by the name, right? You know what? I'm sitting here. I'm talking ill of the dude. I don't even fucking know him. I'm sorry. I apologize. Let's see.
I disagree with a lot. I disagree with a lot with what he says, but just the way he curses and the way he yells about it is pretty funny, actually.
Let's see. Cue this up.
Who have this stance on John Cena's overrated matches. If you're looking for John Cena praise, the John Cena Ass-Licking Society and the WWE Ass-Licking Society has plenty of that for you out there all over the internet, Twitter, Facebook, you name the platform. There are ass-lickers who will defend it to the end, and I call them ass-lickers because they don't allow dissenting opinions. You know, it's a thing where if you disagree, you know, first of all, with their opinions, more power to them, but where they cross the line is where they talk down to you or they label you merely because, you've got a different opinion than them. And to me, that's pretty fucking lame.
I like that. I like his stance on that. Let's see what.
Yeah, keep going forward. You'll see him start ranting.
You are now tuned in to BlitzSportsNetwork.com, the home of the legendary Blitz team. Bruce Blitz and his panels are always bringing the heat. You think there's a better website? You better pump the brakes. Because I love this website like a fat kid loves cakes. This is Epic Movie Voice Guy. And Bruce Blitz, you the man, bro. Enjoy the show, folks.
And we're supposed to just sit here and shut the fuck up, right? That's garbage!
Angry, bro?
Okay. One thing that I am sick and fucking tired of is in situations like this where they give us the same old shit. The industry runs out there on their folks, some people get frustrated with me because I always say, if you like John Cena, more power to you. It doesn't bother me. If you like something I don't like, I don't care. But there's this notion within the wrestling world that you have to conform to liking what the WWE does. Oh, well, Jim Ross said you gotta like this. Oh, well, Lance Storm said you gotta like that. I don't need fucking Steven Spielberg or some producer to tell me what I need to like or don't like in the movie industry. If I'm sick and fucking tired of John Cena, I don't care how many fucking Make-A-Wish segments that they do. I'm sick of him.
God damn.
And then as soon as you say that, you're an internet fan. You're an internet fan. You're one of those fans. You don't understand. He sells merchandise. Well, someone needs to stand up for those of us out here who can't stand him. And then you got all these people who run out there. Oh, it's not right. You don't understand.
Dude, just stop fucking watching it. Hold on.
This is wrestling.
A lot of us are sick of it.
Yeah.
Guy after guy after guy after fucking guy with talent gets buried by this boring ass motherfucker.
God damn, so much rage.
And then as soon as you come on and you civilly say something, you're an internet fan. Oh, come on, Bruce, bury this guy. Bury that guy. This guy likes Cena, bury him. I'm always like, no, that's their opinion. But we can't get the same in fucking return. And then you gotta sit there and watch shit like you saw tonight. On Payback with Cena, same old fucking shit. And we're supposed to just sit here and shut the fuck up, right? That's garbage!
Well, shit. I mean, I can't talk about this dude.
That's like saying you can't have an opinion on politics unless a former president agrees with you.
This video has 31,000 views.
Oh, well, Lance Storm, I don't give a
It's
fuck
a big audience.
when anybody within the...
Maybe I should just start yelling on the damn podcast. Give me some goddamn... My numbers up. Hey, motherfuckers! Listen to my show! Goddamn, man. You got a lot of hate for somebody that he don't like, but he sure keep his fucking name in his mouth. Just stop watching this shit. Change the channel. God damn it. Find something else to do. Take up
come on, I cover this for you, and I get money out of it because you buy a subscription to my network.
Oh, that's what he does? He's one of those guys?
Yeah, or just like anybody else that has a network that has a Patreon account attached to it too, you know?
Yeah.
You trash the company and you go on these soapboxes about why the company's not doing what they want for their fans. Yet you look at, they changed the whole entire Survivor Series show for the fans.
Yeah.
oh, as long as you pay money and give me money for my network and Patreon accounts, I'll give you the controversial hot takes. Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, I got one of those things or whatever, but I don't know, man. It's like content-wise, I put a lot of stuff on there as far as like if I get a good bulk of episodes, like if I record 3 episodes in a week, I'll put like maybe 2 out of that 3 up early so they can hear it unedited and everything like that. Or if I get my little movie pass codes and everything, I give them that. Get some shirts, sent out to people and all kind of shit like that. I think I'm doing more for them than they're doing for me. The only 2 that I got anyway, or whatever. But hey, man.
Yeah, I'm just talking about more like the hot take people that have Patreon accounts. So, like, yeah, we're going to be the controversial anti-everything wrestling, but we're going to shill stuff down your throat and try to force you to buy into our Patreon accounts. There's some good people that do have Patreon accounts and they know who they are, but I'm just talking about the other people that just try to be controversial just for the sake that they could try to hoodwink people and try to get money out of them.
Yeah, I feel you. Like, what's your boy? Don't your boy got a fucking Patreon or some like pay subscription shit? Russo?
He ain't my boy.
And not my president.
Most overrated writer in the history of wrestling. Yeah,
he got lucky once.
I mean, if you're stealing concepts from South Park and everything in the '90s, I guess you're creative.
I guess so. Man. I guess so. Anything else on your brain before we ride out into that good night, my friend?
Not much, man. It was good catching up with you. Talk a little bit about Shop. I'm very excited for this Survivor Series weekend that's coming up. I'm going to be very busy on that end, covering both TakeOver and Survivor Series. So
yeah,
the wrestling calendar gets busier and busier, but it gets me more pumped because it gives me more work to do.
Yeah, I'm looking to cash in on my veteran status for those 4 days of wrestling because active duty and veterans get into WWE shows for free. But the only thing that sucks about it is you can only cash in day of the performance. So I can't go like a week out or 2 weeks out and be like, hey, let me get my free veterans ticket. You got to go the day of the show. So if the motherfucker sold out, then I can't cash in. I can't. my veteran in the bank briefcase.
Our mutual friend Mike, Main Event Swerve, he's going to the shows.
Oh yeah, I'm Mike. If you ever listen to this show, I'm gonna catch you outside. I'm gonna catch you outside, and we gonna wrestle in front of the Toyota Center.
We're gonna duke it out.
We gonna. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get Mike on this goddamn show, and then it ain't gonna be like how me and you is right now, because Mike lives here in fucking Houston, and I'm gonna drive to wherever the fuck he at, and we gonna set up shop. I'm saying that I didn't even ask him about this though, so I just show up. Look, hey man, let's do this thing.
Surprise, motherfucker! I got my equipment in.
Yeah, I already asked him to meet me at a Walmart so we can wrestle. So that's coming soon.
Booker T, Steve Austin wrestle.
I'm gonna be stone cold. I'm getting the better of this exchange. This is my show, damn it.
Yeah. It goes into the grocery store to a bingo hall and then into a confession box in a church. That was classic.
Yeah. I need to watch that again.
One of my favorite moments as a kid when that happened.
All right.
Yeah, I can't believe that's 17 years ago, man.
What?
Jesus Christ. Yeah, 2001.
Fuck. I was 1 year into the Marine Corps by then.
I was 7.
Yeah. Time is funny that way. But hey, man, go ahead and plug all your things. Not your orifices, because you're on camera and I don't want to see none of that.
No, it's all good. guys, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Notorious Joshie. It's cool that they're adding the 280 characters on Twitter because they'll help me out add more info about the articles I do at ProWrestlingTranscriptions.com, which you can bookmark. If you want to do anything, you can to the website and want to help support me and you like the articles I'm doing, like the fee for it's only $2. I think that's fair. No, I'm not charging a lot. It's just $2. If you want to, go ahead, knock your socks off. But I want people to give this site a chance. I think I'm doing something different, and it's really easy to navigate, to be honest with you. I got a search bar, so if you want to find a particular show, it'll pop up right there for you. So I like to design the show, not design the show, but design of the website. And I have a cool setup. So if you guys want to check out, it's ProWrestlingTranscriptions.com. I have my own podcast, the Josh Lopez Wrestling Podcast, which you can subscribe to on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and YouTube.com. I add a lot of production elements to that show, and besides the wrestling talk, I add a lot of personal stories that I deal with, and it's more of a motivational podcast and positive, and spreading the word of positivity because there's already a lot of negative, jaded people out there, and I just want to have fun with this stuff. So if you want to check that out, go to Josh Lopez Wrestling Podcast, and then that's pretty much it for now. But next week I'll be covering both NXT TakeOver War Games and Survivor Series, 2 shows that I'm looking forward to for different reasons. Both shows are going to kick ass next week. So for anybody that goes to the show in Houston next weekend, you guys are lucky. Have fun with it. Don't be like Brooklyn. That's all I ask. And then besides that, next week, Rob, will be my 80th episode for this particular podcast for the Josh Lopez Wrestling Podcast. So
you getting up there.
Yeah. Collectively, it'd be 240 episodes I've done in the last 4 years.
Well, shit, dude. This will be episode 97.
Nice.
So I'm approaching that 100.
Don't forget, one of the greatest wrestling matches in wrestling history happened in 97. Austin, Bret Hart, Chicago, WrestleMania 13. Yes.
So if you have the WWE Network for only $9.99 a month, go ahead and look up that match.
Yes.
And we're going to go ahead and give away a free digital download. I'm going to give away the movie Girls Trip. So if you made it this far into the episode, here it is. The code is, Josh, you can't have this because you're a guest. You can't have this one.
It's a great movie, by the way, so make sure you guys get in that code.
Yeah, just grapefruiting is a thing that I had to talk Miss B Rob into that. All right. And the code is FJWLKMPF6XEN. I'm not repeating myself, so you can just rewind it and listen to it again. So there you go. You got a free digital copy of the Girls Trip movie, which is hilarious. And you can download that on iTunes, or you can go to uphe.com/redeem. That's Uniform Papa Hotel Echo.com/redeem. And while I'm using the military phonetic alphabet, today is November 10th, 2017. I'd like to wish every Marine around the world a happy birthday. This is the Marine Corps birthday on November 10th, and it is our 242nd birthday. So, Semper Fidelis. Hope you're drinking and eating hearty and not getting into any trouble, which I know we're known for. So, hoorah, Marines. And on that note, we're going to close it out. You can find me on Twitter at It's B-Rob. That's ITSBROB. If you want to talk professional wrestling or general shenanigans, that's the place you do it. Also, the show has its own Twitter account, which you can follow at 3R Show. You can go to my website, randomrobcast.com, to where you can find different ways to help the show, support it, and make it grow. See, I rhymed a little bit. I got this mixtape coming out in 2019. I got merchandise. I got Amazon links. You can become a patron like Brandon McIntyre and Glenn Abbott and do all those things. But fuck all that stuff I just said, because you don't have to do none of that shit. The most important thing that you can do for me, that you can do for the show, is listen. Share it. Maybe even leave a review. I mean, that's not even really required, but the most important thing you can do is listen and share the word of the Random Rambles with Rob podcast. And that's it for the week. Tried to switch up the format a little bit. And for that, because I didn't feel like editing a lot, so maybe I'll continue to do it this way. I don't know. I doubt it, though. I've been here. He's been Josh. And I'll see you next time.
Hush Your Face is coming straight to your ears. A podcast network that's changing gears, bringing fresh funky pods with a fresh funky beat. A family of pods that are bringing the heat. There ain't no stopping us. Keep coming back to us, sick ass pods that'll make you hush. www.hushyourface. www.hushyourface. www.hushyourface.com.